Yo, wagwan everyone, Sanjuchi here, and welcome back to the channel where today we'll be talking about the strongest in Boruto, the man, the myth, the fresh drip legend, Code. So yeah, of course, naturally it's that time of the month where we talk about the recent Boruto chapter and how it's going to affect things going forward with the story. So naturally, anime only, spoilers. But anyway, if you're new here, be sure to subscribe. I appreciate the support as we aim to get to 20,000 subscribers by the end of this year. Leave a like, comment with your thoughts naturally, and yeah, just thanks for tuning in all the same, because you didn't have to at the end of the day. But getting right into it. So as I said there in the intro, the strongest in the Naruto world. You thought the strongest power in the ninja world was poison? like they say in, in the Storm series with Hanzo when he awakens? No. It's code, man. It is code, because as of Boruto Chapter 55, we got the revelation that Code was or is a failed vessel of Isshiki Otsutsuki. But along with that information, we got the confirmation that he still or actually has a karma seal, but not just any karma seal, the non-vessel white karma seal, as Isshiki puts it. Now, I find this interesting because it kind of expands on the categories of, the types of vessels, quote unquote, where one, we have the vessels that work like Kawaki, cool. We have the vessels that die instantly after trying to implant karma, 2, cool, fine. We have 3, the vessels like Jigen, where the Otsutsuki can reincarnate in the body, but at the same time the body doesn't last as long. And 4, we now have that 4th category in Code, where the karma and the power of the Otsutsuki seemingly can be passed on, but the soul aspect of it can't reincarnate in that vessel for reasons yet unknown right now. I'm hoping Kishimoto can explain that, or maybe he'll leave it kind of open-ended and ambiguous, in terms of why, what prevents Otsutsuki's soul from being compatible with a particular vessel. So there's that, because on a physical level I would imagine that Kawaki was modified to be Ishiki's, perfect vessel. So on a soul level, I'm kind of wondering if they'll eventually explain why Code is incompatible with Isshiki. But that's beyond the point. The point is, Code is, by right, if I'm interpreting the chapter right, he should be the strongest person in the world right now. Now, even though coming out of chapter 55 are the last 3 chapters with Naruto and Sasuke losing Kurama and Rinnegan respectively, even without those things, as I've kind of talked about in my recent discussion videos on Naruto and Sasuke, they're still very much in the top 5 strongest persons when it comes on to persons that classify themselves as shinobi. So there's that. But at the same time, if Code actually inherited Ishiki's strength, and if it's even like saying, if we're going to make it reasonable within the confines of the story, so persons have a fighting chance against Code, let's say he has 50% of Ishiki's full power. Honestly, that in itself is it's still like, to me, all he'd need to basically floor Naruto and Sasuke right now, or anybody else for that matter of fact. I mean, granted, this is Naruto, so it depends on how the person would approach the fight going into the fight with Code, but at the same time, in most cases, if he is at least as half as strong as Isshiki, then it's not looking good for the persons that he's going after, which are Naruto, Sasuke, Kawaki, Amado, and Boruto. So it is what it is right there. But that being said, as I'm seeing it as the strongest person on the planet right now, will there be any limitations when it comes on to Code and using this non-white karma? Because I'm assuming, even though his soul is on a soul level, his body is incompatible with Isshiki in terms of him reincarnating, but I would imagine on a physical level, if he releases Ishiki's power, his body should be able to handle it and won't be breaking down like, say, like a Jigen, who falls into that particular category of karma vessels. So anywhere from 50 to 100%, it's good. or at least what I'm saying is on a physical level, I'm kind of, you know, theorizing that Code shouldn't have a problem handling Isshiki's power. So, and especially since he would have been modified by Amado more than likely, similar to Kawaki, to, you know, be a suitable host on a physical level. So that's what I'm saying when it comes on to that. Now, if that's the case, more than likely he can use 100% of Ishiki's power. So there is definitely that. But that aside, I mean, pure power is one thing, but Code, obviously from the anime and the manga now, it's going to be interesting to see how Kishimoto handles his character, because obviously there's going to be like a parallel and dynamic. There's going to be like some kind of narrative arc between him and Kawaki going forward. I just had a random thought. It would be very interesting if Code dies at some point after becoming an Otsutsuki. Probably, who knows, probably eats the chakra fruit of another planet or dimension, and then he eventually gives he eventually tries to implant basically his karma seal on Kawaki, and that probably might be the karma seal that Kawaki has in the future. Who knows, I don't know, maybe. That's just a random thought there. But the point is, going forward when it comes on to the story outside of power, I'm kind of looking forward to seeing Code and the dynamic and just the whole story that Kishimoto is going to try and tell between him and Kawaki going forward. And I imagine when it comes on to, you know, Ishiki setting him on this path to become an Otsutsuki, Code as it stands right now might be that bridge between, you know, getting us more invested in the Otsutsuki, because let's not fool ourselves, honestly. Like, a lot of persons still feel like Boruto shouldn't exist, the Otsutsuki aliens shouldn't exist in this story, and to this day I don't think we're as invested in the Otsutsuki clan as we could possibly be, or at least the bitter taste that, you know, aliens left in our mouths at the end of Naruto, it hasn't been rinsed up with Listerine or anything or just yet. So that's all I'm saying. So between being the strongest and, you know, him having this, potentially having this narrative arc, which might contribute to setting him in conflict with the Otsutsuki clan as well as exploring the Otsutsuki clan, Code kind of has a lot of potential, well, narrative potential in the story going forward as well, outside of him being the strongest, because just that alone isn't going to cut the bread, cut the bread or butter it on 5 sides. I don't know, something like that. So yeah, that's the the cool reality of it at the end of the day. So yeah, but as I said, at the end of the day, conclusively, really and truly, Code, even if he can just muster like 50% of Ishiki's power, he's obviously the strongest, and it's going to be interesting to see, you know, what he does with that power. And honestly, because alright, that's to kind of end things off. Really, based on Ishiki's performance against Naruto and Sasuke, like before Baryon mode, he didn't really need to use a lot of effort, or, you know, it didn't take a lot of hits before putting Naruto and Sasuke down. So obviously this puts Code on another level. That, and the fact that, you know, it's crazy because in retrospect as well, this kind of confirms why Code was so confident in taking on Naruto once Delta failed. It kind of gives more oomph to his whole confidence there, I guess. So I guess that kind of explains that scene, given what we now know about him and his abilities. Given we still need to see him in action, because yeah. But all in all I'm saying is that even though he might be the strongest, there is potential for his character in the story. So I'm looking forward to seeing how Kishi handles it. Yeah. So yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. It's been a nice little discussion video here, nothing too spicy, nothing too dramatic, just me and hundreds of you, hopefully, because I'd love to hear your thoughts on my thoughts here. But anyway, thanks for tuning in. If you made it this far, be sure to subscribe if you enjoyed anything I had to say, and leave a like. We can talk about this in the comment section or on Discord, link in the description. I'll see you in the next Boruto discussion.